I don't know about his teeth.
Not sure. None of these photos have their teeth in them.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of a different fish.
But what is that? 15. They're like 20 inches long, so a foot and a half. That's a pretty big alligator dinosaur eelfish. That's crazy that it's that big. It looks so teeny on the screen.
Yep.
I mean, that one maybe isn't necessarily that big. We also have some viewers from the US. So let's see here. Zooming in a little bit. Again, up and down the west coast. And then it looks like we have some Arizona, the Great Lakes region, Texas, Florida, and then up and down the east coast. We've also got New Zealand, United Kingdom, Germany, Netherlands, Australia, Sweden, Norway, Italy, Finland, and Barbados. So it is 10:37 p.m. here. I'm wondering if you guys are waking up or heading to lunch or going to bed. What time is it where you're watching from?
For us on the ship, it's all of those things since
Yeah.
we're on different watch schedules.
So our next mission, we're heading to the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa. Sam, do we know about how far away that is from where we currently are?
That is a great question for our lead navigator.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Miles.
What's the question?
When we head out to the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa, do you have any idea of how far offshore that is?
No, but I can find that out. Stand by.
Excellent. We will be leaving out of Pongo Pongo and doing some biology and geology focused surveys in regions of the sanctuary that the sanctuary has not had a chance yet to explore.
So they've done a bit of deep sea diving in that area, but we're going in parts of it that maybe haven't necessarily been looked at.
That is a great question. And I'm actually working on getting an expedition blog up on the website currently. So stay tuned for more. There will be a blog posted later this weekend.
I'm so excited.
Should we get everybody's guess before Miles tells us the answer?
Sure. You're first.
Yeah, you're
All
first.
right,
What are we betting?
I'm
Are we making a bet?
Oh, I don't know. What do we want to bet?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Well, I'm thinking like a dessert
I know,
challenge here.
that's exactly where my brain went to.
First cookie? I don't know.
A pocket pretzel.
A pocket
Oh.
pretzel.
You have pocket pretzels?
No, do you?
No.
I have an apple.
What?
An apple? I don't know.
It's like not quite as exciting.
Okay, for the glory.
For all the glory.
What's your guess, Russ?
I'm going to say 95 miles.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Is this 95? So,
So this
miles
is
from Pongo
from
Pongo?
Pongo Pongo?
Or
I'm
from
going to
where
say
we are
from
currently?
As the sea crow flies or as the boat will travel?
Just as the sea crow flies.
Okay. From Pongo Pongo.
Yes.
Okay. Copy that. 95.
I'm gonna say 100.
100.
I'm gonna throw a curveball and say 37.
37 bold. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go with 75.
Oh.
I'll go 50.
Who wants to pay me to be right?
Can you guess, Trevor, or did you already see?
I don't even know what we're guessing.
Distance to our first part, or our first target of National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa
first
from Pongo
target.
Pongo.
Price is Right rules?
Sorry?
Price is Right rules?
Sure.
Then it's going to be 101. Like he's
Then yeah, I should probably go, okay. Ooh, 104.
So Price is Right is you have to be the closest without going over.
Right.
right.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stand by 37.
I'll give it some buffer, 104.
Miles, did first target make sense for this?
Not
Or
really,
boundary?
but I'll figure it out.
Or should we do boundary?
No.
I feel like boundary would be challenging too.
Well, there's a lot of different boundaries.
Exactly.
I'm trying to figure out which one we're going to first.
I would just... Oh, okay.
Dive or mapping, I guess is the really,
Oh, gosh.
Dive.
Well,
Maybe the first
Dive.
one.
Dive, dive, dive.
that's really what we care about.
That's not Price is Right.
Oh.
Mew mew. Mew mew.
Is that the price is right? There we go.
Is that what the Price is Right sounds like?
It is Rose. I was like,
Going to confirm.
Oh my.
visual confirmation, ground truth.
Ground truth.
No.
All right, what unit? We're doing nautical miles?
Yep.
Yeah.
He always likes
Wait, I
to...
thought we were doing Sea Crow.
Cables.
What were the guesses?
That's where we're diving?
That's too close.
I said
That's not
37.
right.
I said 95, but it's not going to.
That's not right.
If it's
It's
there,
a
then
75.
that-
What?
No, 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 no.
What's the
no.
answer? What's the result?
Is that saying 14?
What?
Total?
What?
I think we were going on this thing way up yonder.
Yeah,
Like-
eventually we'll get up there.
Oh.
So, okay, so how
Oh.
far is it? Who
So
wins?
by Sea Crow, distance to first dive is 16 nautical miles.
But is that in the National Marine Sanctuary?
No.
Oh, I thought we were guessing
Oh.
the
We were doing the
sanctuary.
National Marine Sanctuary. Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to plot all of these up then?
No, just the National
Just-
Marine
just that
Sanctuary
one.
ones. Yeah, Miles, come on.
Oh, I was doing Family Feud. That was Family Feud. not Price is Right.
Oh, man. Okay.
What is Price is Right then?
Let's see if we can pull
I
it
don't know.
up.
It's where everyone runs onto the stage and then pulls the wheel.
Right.
Pulls
yes.
the wheel.
No, that's Wheel of
Yeah.
That's at
Fortune.
the end. No, the wheels. There is
No,
a
they
wheel
do,
of
they
Showcase
do,
Fortune,
Showdown.
yeah.
but that's if you win a bunch,
Yeah.
and you compete
okay.
against other people that have also won a bunch.
Yeah.
And then you get to keep them, right? The prizes?
The wheels? Oh, the prizes, yeah. You
Also the wheels? Souvenir?
get to keep Bob Barker.
No, it's Drew Carey now,
Drew
isn't
Carey
it?
now, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's great, but it's always Bob Barker in my heart.
We recently had a footage request from Jeopardy to use a clip of our footage, and
Wow.
we were all really excited, and then they decided not to use it.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
I know.
What footage?
Blob Sculpin.
Ah. Wow.
Yeah. Say Livy.
That's my
Can they
15
change their
seconds of
mind?
Fame
one of my life goals by the time I'm 35.
to
Be
be a blob
Meet a
sculpin.
blob sculpin.
to be a blob sculpin.
Ah.
No, to be on Jeopardy.
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
Yeah. So now it's official. Give me a call in 6 years.
Is it counted as being on Jeopardy if you're in the clip they use?
Mm.
Is that considered being on Jeopardy?
Well, I want to be a contestant.
We didn't say that, so maybe that's.
I want the money.
I want the money.
Yeah. No, I want the glory.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you want the desserts,
Yeah.
the pocket pretzels.
Just desserts. I think it was a double.
Is the crew mostly staying on board in
No
between
results?
trips? Are we're having a few off and on signers?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I think it's about about a dozen folks are headed off ship, off signing tomorrow, unfortunately,
I know,
which is
it's so sad.
very strange, 'cause I think we were all
Yeah.
happy to be sailing together. And then, yeah, we'll have new on-signers coming on Sunday.
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday.
Today's Friday. Did we determine how far away the sanctuary is? Oh, are we still working on it?
Work in progress.
Okay, cool. Then I have a question for the science team. What do you all intend to do with all of the data on the targets that you found? Oops, sorry.
Well, I mean, on the targets, I mean, I suppose there'll be more, probably more processing, more analysis. But I think we're pretty confident at this point that the targets that we had marked were, geology, and that we did not miss the airplane in our search to this point.
So they'll sort of go towards this broader understanding of what the bottom of the ocean looks like here in terms of the side scan sonar data.
Yeah, certainly.
And then the night is still young. We have
Still a little over 3 hours to go.
yeah, yeah.
There's something coming up on Argus cam.
Do you want to zoom?
Yes, please. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, it's a branch.
Oh, land.
Thank you. That was a very successful zoom.
Oh, you're welcome. Happy to help. Can we zoom in anything
That's
else?
in anemone, I think.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Bye, branch.
If that was a branch, is it really a branch? Oh, wow. Well, we were the first people to probably see that branch in its exact location right then. And yes, we are also probably the first people to ever see the ocean floor in this area. So it's not really been mapped to this extent. And I don't believe there's been an ROV or AUV or other sort of vehicle dropped down to this depth in this region. That's another really sort of cool thought and cool experience to be a part of as well. Is, in this search we've covered a lot of ground, both with the side scan sonar and also with Argus, and realizing that we, and all of you viewing at home as well, are the first people to ever see the seafloor as it is here and get eyes on what exactly it looks like and be a part of that history.
When Argus Cam was on the big screen, there are definitely some interesting gelatinous critters floating by. There have been a few that look like starburst, some sort of hydromedusa jelly, I think.
And all of the white stuff floating around, is that marine snow, or are those organisms, marine organisms as well?
Yes.
Yes, both.
Yes
all.
and yes.
Yes and yes.
Yep, marine snow can be whatever's floating through, detritus, bits of meals, bits of other animals, waste product.
Is that a sea cucumber up there?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in some ecosystems, actually, especially in the deep sea, the marine snow provides like the bulk of the food source. And so more and more studies are coming out that are kind of realizing that what seems like a desert, a food desert in parts of the deep sea are actually really rich thanks to the marine snow falling from above. Even animals like the vampire squid that look really fearsome are actually
Little scavengers?
Yeah, they actually
wow.
have these two tendrils that kind of unfurl from the middle of their body that just kind of hang out and catch marine snow, and then they pull them back in, and their arms kind of slurp off or slough off all of that marine snow.
Food would come to me like that.
Right?
Like I could just put my hand out and
Yep.
somebody would put a snack in it.
Exactly. Yeah, so you look at those like webbed arms that they have with
Yeah.
seemingly like spikes on them, and that's just to kind of keep them in the water column, and also as a defense mechanism, so they can actually flip themselves inside out. They call it the like pineapple pose, and all the spikes are on the outside, and they look really fearsome that way. But they're actually just hanging out, waiting for little bits of garbage from the surface to float down.
That is so cool. Right, and because there's no sunlight that penetrates this deep, so there's obviously no photosynthesis that happens, so there's no plant matter for those smaller organisms to eat, so that makes sense.
Yep.
Are these its little... Wow, vampire squids are super cool.
If you search for pineapple pose, you'll definitely find them.
That is terrifying. That looks like a pineapple.
Yep. So for the folks at home, if you search for vampire squid pineapple pose, you may be inspired for your next Halloween costume.
Yes. It's very obscure. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the deep sea is the perfect inspiration. We last Halloween actually on Nautilus had quite a few interesting organisms. We had anglerfish. There was a vampire squid. There was
Oh, that's cool.
who else was out here? There was a lighthouse. There was the sub-bottom sonar.
Are these DIY?
Yes, they were all
Okay.
made on ship.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
I had a gulper eel. I had
Yeah.
made a gulper eel out of trash bags and then wrapped it around myself. There was bioluminescence. Someone had gotten some Christmas lights and wired them up to a battery while in port.
That's really impressive.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. That's a good one.
Bunch
I
of
like
nerds
that.
on Halloween. That's what happens.
That's awesome.
So actually, there are parts of the vampire squid that are bioluminescent as well. They, we 2 years ago, I think, had maybe last year, had a camera on board that a researcher had brought on. That was a low light camera, and so it was actually able to pick up. But they were doing some testing on it, but it was able to pick up little, very small flashes of bioluminescence at the tip of the mantle and some of the tip of the arms of the vampire squid. But they're designing this camera to pick up bioluminescence and other sort of deep sea light-based behavior, as an alternative to kind of the bright lights that, we kind of lose some of that nuance. Which is kind of cool.
That's really cool.
All right, Ed's here. Was lovely spending time with you all, H12. Thank you for accepting me as one of your own.
Bye, Sam.
Okay.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of the search.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.
We'll
See
call
you
you when
tomorrow.
we find it.
Bye.
Bye.
And now that I'm gone, it's going to show up.
I know. Guaranteed.
Enjoy.
Yo.
Hey, Ed.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Ed.
Is this thing on?
Welcome.
Now that you're here,
Yeah.
you have to tell us what your favorite ice cream flavor is. What your favorite?
That would be broccoli.
Okay, that's disgusting.
Wait,
and
is
weird.
that second favorite vegetable? Wait, did I miss something?
Nope. Favorite ice cream?
Man, it all depends. I'm one of those people that has to walk around the ice cream shop all the time and look. Oh, hold on. No, I know.
Okay.
Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey.
Oh, that's a good one. That's the peanut
a
butter and
sponsor.
banana one. Peanut butter banana chocolate.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I thought that one was similar to Moose Tracks.
There's no banana in Moose Tracks. Jeez.
Okay, you're not off the hook yet. We
Yep.
also need to know what your favorite snack on board is.
Oh my gosh. I have so much candy
You
and stuff
can't-
down in my stateroom.
Oh.
I look like
now we
the
know.
fat kid who just got back from skinny camp. Like, I've got all the, like what I bring up tonight. Nutter Butters.
Oh, Nutter
I've
Butters
got,
used to be my favorite.
like at sea, it all depends. Usually on boats, they don't have like, on non-American vessels, they don't have like salty snacks, so I have a bunch of chips. I had some puffy Cheetos at the end of my last
Ooh.
watch.
That's a good one, yeah.
So a bag of chips is always nice.
Yeah.
Peanut butter M&Ms.
Yep, clutch.
Yep,
clutch.
have those in my desk.
All right, so
I'm a
you're kind
snacker.
of giving away all of your secret spots here.
So, yeah, yeah. Well, I share. And if it's ever your birthday on board, I'm always happy to let you into the snack stash. And
Snack stash.
Snack
yeah.
dash.
yeah, but,
okay.
but these things, I don't know, what is this, July? I bought these, I think, in April in Los Angeles.
The Nutter Butters?
Like all my candy and snacks and stuff. I
Yeah.
probably have a stack of chocolate bars that...
Didn't you just finish your
know.
Canadian stash?
That was soda. And I
Oh,
think
okay.
I still have that. Like, I haven't had a soda yet this leg. But I think my Mountain Dews are from Canada.
Oh.
They're, because I think they're 340 milliliter cans.
355.
Nah, that's the oh, maybe they are now. They used to not conform to the 12 ounces in Canada. They did
That
like
was way before.
340.
When I was a kid, they were 355.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Showing
Wow.
your age again.
Well, it was back before it was a country, I guess. It was different.
Back when you had to use the opener to open the cans.
No, when the, oh, yeah. Oh, that was the first can. And then the
Those were
the next one's
days.
tore off in your hand. The little ring came off.
Right.
And that was back when people were considered an environmentalist when they were out canoeing and getting rid of an empty beer. They would fill it with water and let it sink to the bottom. That was the responsible thing to do.
I've heard that in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I was told at the time it's because octopus would find a home in it.
In the lake.
in the ocean. But
Oh, that's
yeah.
what you're from Sitka.
Yep. Yeah. So times have
There's
changed.
the ocean and mosquitoes.
Yep. Okay. So and then your last question is.
Yep.
What has been your favorite or most exciting thing on this cruise?
Ooh. That's wow. No offense to this watch, but getting to hear
Ooh, offense taken.
Lonnie's amazing life experiences and her research and everything, that's just been an immense treat.
Yeah.
So sailing with Lonnie.
Yeah, she
pretty
is.
easy answer.
Yeah, she has she's lived an incredible life.
We do the same thing you do on this watch, where you occasionally look at the map and welcome viewers from all over the world.
Uh-huh.
And as we read them off, we guess whether or not Lonnie has been there.
That's
And
a
I'm
fun
getting
game.
pretty good.
Yeah.
If it's Europe, the Caribbean, certain region of Southeast Asia,
Okay.
she's been there.
Wow.
Almost everywhere in Europe.
Yeah, I imagine. She lived over there for a while.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
She lived in Nordic countries. She lived in Portugal. I mean, everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
She
so,
lived in
but
Turkey.
Yep.
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. That's really cool.
So yeah, sailing with her, highlight of the expedition, by far. And the amount of research she's done and what she's known about this and what she's taught. We've done a thing on our watch where instead of having her recount the tale of that fateful day, we do our effort at doing it.
Oh, that's nice.
And then she corrects us, and we do that each time. So now we're getting down into the groove of it.
Oh, you guys are having
And
like a
it's
little
like,
school lesson.
What time did they leave the harbor? How much later did they take off? Why did they not have a visibility report?
That's a cool one.
All of that stuff.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
How long would the flight have taken? Why did they take off so early? Why did they take off in dark? How much daylight would they have had left when they got to New Zealand?
Oh, wow.
All of those things. So she's been teaching us a ton about her research on this and other projects. So and Megan's got some amazing background as well. So I've enjoyed that. But that's certainly me. I'm a people person, and that's what we've had to really work with on this leg.
That's a fun game. I like the asking everybody what they. I don't necessarily want to play it right now, but I really like that. Yeah, it's a great. I feel like we should all be able to recite the stories from front to back.
It's a little
and
late
left
to
right.
get started.
Yeah, yeah.
And having the historian with us was certainly helpful.
And so many people have been appreciative of
But
all of those stories.
Russ is on this leg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russ's retelling is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, just a great storyteller.
Yeah, we've been really, really lucky this cruise to have. I was just saying how easy I've had it in being the fellow for this watch, and because Russ just is a wealth of knowledge and stories when it comes to not just the Simone Clipper, but aviation history and shipwrecks and sort of all of the components of this story.
He's actually back here.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Talking about you like you're not there.
Yeah, well, thank you. Aw, shucks.
Aw, you guys.
We were having a discussion about film and video on one of our recent watches, but it wasn't my watch, it was the other my watch. And I was kind of wishing that Russ was around with that, with his background.
This is a question to all of you. If you've ever seen bioluminescence on the surface, and I will start, I've seen phosphorescence on the surface of the ocean. In southeast Alaska, it's actually fairly common when you're trekking around at nighttime and you look back at the prop and what it's pushing up, and a lot of times, that activity in the water will excite phosphorus and they'll kind of, activate and be bright, and so then it looks like almost like the northern lights, but in the ocean. Has anyone else?
I was on the tangent. They were talking on our watch about people seeing the Northern Lights, and like only one person seen them from a plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like not a common thing.
I've only ever seen them a handful of times.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess it's living in Southeast,
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, there's so many conditions, I guess, that have to be
Right.
exactly
Do you get a lot
right,
of
too.
clear nights? Does it get cold in Sitka?
I
Like
mean,
20,
it
30
gets,
below?
no, it does
Okay.
not get that cold. It rarely gets into even like the 10s.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
the plus 10s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the plus 10s.
So anyway, so is the question related to at work, seeing them from the surface? Maybe.
Or just anytime, yeah, if you've ever seen, lights
Oh, yeah.
from the surface.
Yeah, the bow thruster can churn up a bunch of
Yeah.
luminescent life forms.
Yep. Never seen them in the Atlantic, but I've definitely seen them in the Pacific.
Yeah, I've seen them sailing the wash up on deck, which is really cool.
Oh,
Because
that
then the
is
deck
cool.
starts glowing in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I've seen a lot of kayak tours out of Northern California where they'll go to Tamales Bay, which is north of San Francisco, and you can kayak in these little lagoon areas that they know phosphorescents tend to hang out, and you can kayak with them, which is really cool. I haven't done it yet, but
We went over to the island of Vieques off of Puerto Rico, and there's a bioluminescent bay there that you can go kayaking in,
Oh, cool.
and it just ignites when
Yeah,
you
they're so beautiful.
when you paddle. Super fun. And if you get on your hand, the organisms as they wash off of your hand, it almost looks like that film effect where somebody is a robot and there's like a printed circuit board is your hand. That's kind of the pattern it makes as they trickle off of your hand if you pick some water up.
Yeah, that green
really
sort
cool.
of, yeah.
Yeah. That would be good with some Ben & Jerry's ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream sounds really good in general.
Well, we'll have ice cream. I don't know if we'll have ice cream on our second port call day. I don't know if we get it.
There is an
they
ice
do it in
cream
port.
shop in town. I'm definitely going to be checking out, yeah.
Going over to the National Weather Service office, field office tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I worked with them on a documentary about the tsunami, and it'd be nice to connect and
Yeah, absolutely.
then have them over to the vessel for a tour tomorrow afternoon.
Cool.
Yeah.
That'll be super fun. I'm thinking of checking out that hike you were talking about, Russ, and I think Paul mentioned it to me the other day too. It's
the Heritage Trail.
Yeah, is that the one that goes up to the? That's the one that goes up
The
to
old
the lookout.
gun emplacement.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's the shorter of the two, and it's more accessible to the dock area.
Okay. Yeah, I saw some
Lots
photos.
of mosquitoes though.
Oh, really? I got a lot of mosquito bites in Apia. And when we were in Pongo Pongo, I stepped on a fire ant nest.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were like walking and I had my sandals on and I was like, ow, I feel like something bit me. And I was like, oh my gosh, it bit me again. And then I pulled off my shoe and there were like
a cluster
dozen
of
ants. Yeah, walking up my ankle, and I brushed them off and they got on my hand and started biting my hand. It was,
no.
Yeah. It was weird. They feel like a little burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never experienced fire ants before.
Any objection to me turning some lights off?
I
All
don't,
right.
I don't have any. Hey, did we ever figure out how far away the marine sanctuary is? Were we avoiding that answer?
Yeah, there's no clear answer.
Oh, okay. I guess we can all just agree that we're all winners.
So Miles, is there another line below this one? Is that little dotted line I see?
Yep, there are several lines south of us.
Got it, thanks.
3 more lines total.
And we are walking our way towards beach.
That light really cleared up the sonar image. Turning it off.
Yeah, it's back on now, but do you see a difference?
I don't see a difference.
I don't see a difference.
All the rocks are gone.
You want to turn them on, off and on again just to see?
There's striping's back. A little bit less than before. Yeah, it's coming back again.
Is it that sort of darker horizontal line? Is that what you're talking about? On the top?
They're sort of, I don't know, sort of, yeah, stripes, waves.
And yes, we Ed, we are working our way towards the island.
Yeah. Well, this is the hard part about straddling 2 watches. I can't remember what we discussed and what we discussed on my other watch. Talking about the line of sight survey. Did we talk about that? I was thinking it would be interesting. We know the eyewitness was in a canoe and was able to see some portion of the aircraft when it was down. It would be interesting to, given time and resources, to note a part of a vessel, perhaps this one, that's the same height from the waterline as the Samoan Clipper, and see how far out you can go and still be visible. Seems like it'd be right around here probably, but just to ground truth that distance.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But there's also a emerging piece of technology, which is, do you know anything about this, Miles? It's a synthetic aperture sonar.
Didi has spoke some about those.
There's a Canadian company, I think, that makes maybe, I don't know if the name of the firm is Kraken or the product name is Kraken. But I think they've started to develop some sort of technology that can do side scan sonars like this at something like 8 knots.
They're based in Newfoundland, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think I have a friend who started working for them recently.
Huh. They're
From UH.
up and coming. They just as a proof of concept. There's a couple. I think they were obviously Canadian, either prototype aircraft or something that went down the Great Lakes in the 50s, and they had a tremendously broad area where they think they might have gone down. And these guys went out with this device and found them in a matter of days. I don't think it was a product then. I think it was a technology demonstration.
The resolution is just insane. That's one of the big advantages of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the price tag is as well.
Yes. We'd gotten a grant to use one, hoping that NOAA would buy one, and they didn't.
I thought NOAA just announced they had.
Oh, well, that's good. This was like, I don't know, like 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, I think either GFOE or OER just put out a press release today.
Nice.
That they got a Remus. The Remus are what, 600s? not the 6000, AUV, and Kraken system.
Yeah, this was with Applied Signal Technology. I think they've been sold off since then, and this was a towed system.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
Now, I don't know whether it was OER or GFOE, and that makes a big difference.
Looks like we're seeing some rocks on the bottom, both underneath Argus and on the sonar. Is that basalt or carbonate? Or
Looks
something
like
else?
basalt.
Basalt. How do you tell the difference between the two?
They're usually rounder and darker in color.
Hmm. Both of those
Also,
are...
I assume this is just a volcanic area.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to say those
Yeah.
are both volcanic rocks.
I'm going to do one more light cycle here.
What are you doing exactly with the lights?
I'm testing ground faults.
What
We have
is
a non-critical ground fault, meaning it's totally fine, but it's slightly different than the start of the dive. So I was trying to find out what's causing it.
What's a ground fault?
It's where the electrons aren't going where we want them to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we send power out. You know, you plug something into the wall or whatever, it's got two parts to it.
Uh-huh.
There's the power going out and the power coming back.
Kind of
Makes
like a
a
battery?
full circle, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the circuit. But if you have a little bit of stray electron action where they sneak out the side, that's a ground fault, is the layperson description.
So are you looking at some sort of meter or monitor in front of you? That
Exactly, yeah.
Gotcha. And it changes with the light?
It does not, which means the
Oh.
lights are great.
So the current Okeanos mission is to demonstrate, test, and evaluate 5 emerging and existing technologies for possible integration into NOAA operations. So it sounds like they're doing a test drive, not they haven't acquired.
Still sounds good though.
Yep.
Are those basalt rocks as well? They kind of look like coconuts.
So they're doing a Remus 600 as part of OCS, which is the Office of Coast Survey, and the Kraken Robotics Catfish.
Look like a little shrimp, maybe?
Was that a Remus 600 you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just writing it down.
Dee Dee, what's next for you after this leg? Do you have another expedition to go on?
Nope. No cruises, project, however we want to define a cruise.
Mission, whatever.
I have some National Register of Historic Places work on an area in the Mobile River.
Where's that?
Alabama.
Oh.
So sitting at a desk typing away.
So what does that do? You're defining whether or not they should be listed under the National Historic Registry?
We've got some funding to do a district nomination for an area there that we did some previous work on.
Oh, wow.
Sort of a ship graveyard where about a dozen vessels were brought up and scuttled. So we got some funding from the Alabama Historical Commission to do a National Register district.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I always think of, like the houses that have the little plaque in front of them.
Yep.
I didn't realize that you could do it with marine sites as well.
Yep, so you could do the exact same thing, either an individual site or a larger area, like a district. So same concept, just for submerged resources.
And then are they also subject to those stricter rules in just terms of like development or,
Yep.
or people coming into that area?
Yep, same exact thing. So yeah, so then they need to be considered after they're found eligible or listed for any federal permitting or undertaking that might affect them.
Huh.
So, yes.
Is that in a pretty deep part of the river, or is it shallow? Can
No,
you
no,
see
no.
it?
It's in a small area off the Mobile River, sort of north of the city of Mobile.
Okay.
So yeah, just not a pleasant place. Alligators, snakes, not so
Ooh.
fun.
So you're not like swimming there anyway.
We did do we've done some diving there. It was
Oh,
not fun
cool.
either. Yeah.
No.
You literally like couldn't even see your gauge in your mask. So
Oh wow.
yeah. It was probably the least pleasant dive I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it just super muddy, or is it?
Yeah, just the visibility was just
Yeah.
beyond dark. Just you might as well close your eyes.
Oh wow.
So
That's
DD, they're
pretty cool.
leg 2 of the Okeanos mission. Let me go back here. They're going to be testing a 360-degree camera from MIT. We've sailed with that before. A one-way travel time inverted ultra-short baseline nav system from HUI. And a Kraken Robotics C-Vision laser scanner.
Wait, ultra short timing?
Yeah, hold on,
USBL?
I got it right here. Yep, One-way travel, time inverted, ultra-short baseline navigation system. This navigation
What was
system
inverted?
is in development with the
Time?
with HUI to support multi-AUV navigation capability.
Time inverted is frequency.
The aim is to develop a low-power acoustic navigation system for application within an array of AUVs. It uses a single acoustic source that can be used for the navigation of multiple subsea vehicles with no time or frequency sharing required. So it sounds like they're trying to take the nav components out of the very sophisticated nav components out of AUVs, put them in a separate device that then's providing them with an acoustic transmit. Does that sound right?
I was getting
But-
something different out of that. I was getting
Yeah.
that the navigation would all be housed subsea, and that the single ping from a known source talks to
Maybe.
all the AUVs, and they can all determine where they are.
It's
from
out
that.
of HUI, but it doesn't say that it's out of
TrackLink will
DSL.
do 16 different transponders at once.
Huh.
But I guess
it's
they
got to
don't-
cycle through them.
They don't need to ping back up though.
They-
They just need to know where the ship is. If the ship's in a known spot, they don't need to tell you where they are. They just need to know where they are themselves. So it could be a single.
That's what the DVL's for.
Because they need to know where each other are.
Maybe. Then you need multiple frequencies. So it has single frequency, single. What did it say? Single,
Well-
single travel or single travel direction or something?
I went off to see who's on this leg.
Because single travel direction means they hear it but don't say anything back too.
Which means they're doing all the location computing
Hey.
on board.
On board, exactly. Yeah.
Nia.
Nia?
Cool.
Quoted?
What?
She's referenced?
Yeah, she's on that leg. So's Roland.
There's crew on
He's
board.
on every leg.
No. Okay.
She's sailing with us on CCFZ.
She is? Sweet.
Yeah.
Rod Mather's going out with them. He's from URI.
Ed, did you see any more mahi-mahi or white tips swimming around on your way up? No.
I don't look at the water.
What?
No. I probably should, eh?
I stepped out for a minute and didn't see them.
Oh, Dave Wright's out with them.
What's that?
Buddy of mine. His position's listed as electrical graybeard.
Oh.
Appropriately enough. I hope they have a great mission. Pushing the boundaries all the time. Well, it's 10:30.
Yeah, we got
UTC.
30 minutes to find her. At least for this watch.
Hour 121.
Is that right? 96. Yeah, 121. Concur.
Looks like we have some rocky bottom down here. Argus is showing clear muddy bottoms, but you can see if you look in the side scan sonar, it almost looks like it kind of starts off muddy and then builds up into that rockier area to the west and east.
I can put a loop in that ceiling.
Russ, are you on headset?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. I have a question for you
All right.
from a listener. Since the Clipper was a Pan Am project and they have been defunct since around 1990, has it been hard to research records on such an old plane, and were many of the records lost or destroyed, or were they moved on to a museum or library or other archival location?
That's a great question. Yes, and it's actually been surprisingly easy in that there's some very far-sighted individuals, including Ed Tripp, who we had as a guest on the Science Party line a few days ago, who had worked with Pan Am and is an aviation historian in his own right, and the son of Pan Am founder Juan Tripp. He and some others saw that these records could be lost when the airline went out of business, and took action and saw that the great bulk of it was donated to the University of Miami Library, and it's there, housed there now in a special collection and curated and available to researchers. And they can actually do if you contact them, they can actually do a limited amount of research for you. They can allocate, I think, 20 or 30 minutes maybe. But they actually did that for us when we first started researching this, 5 years ago, and the wealth of material that came back was staggering. I mean, if you've seen in the book, all of those radiograms, the record of the correspondence that went on at the time as they tried to puzzle out what had happened and are exchanging information back and forth between the headquarters back in San Francisco and the station here in Pongo Pongo. And it is, it's incredible, and also including the original map of the search area where they had marked in pencil, the area where the oil slick had been spotted, and there's handwritten notations about it, oil slick scene, and notations about where the airplane was when it was making the various radio transmissions and what was said. And it marks the course, down towards Auckland. It actually goes off the map and then comes back on as it makes its way back up to Apia and Samoa. So yeah, and then, if you want to get more in depth than that, if you visit the library in person or you send a researcher in your stead, you can get much more access, and they'll bring that out. And I spent a little bit of time there back in March, and just going through everything, all the records and the photographs. A lot of the photographs that are in just the reference book also come from that collection. So, yeah.
Rustin, Pan Am and some of the other pioneering airlines like TWA, they basically fell prey to the low-cost airlines. Wasn't that what?
Yeah, well, Pan Am.
It wasn't a consolidation period.
Well, Pan Am's big issue was that they were the international airline, and then when and deregulation happened, and suddenly you could actually have national routes and international routes in the same system, and so they had no feeder. Airlines. They had no system, within the United States, and I think they ultimately, kind of too late, tried to buy out another airline and really kind of bit off more than they could chew, and they, ultimately it was kind of a slow process as they sold off assets.
Yeah.
And so the airline kind of went away piecemeal. So we actually, spent some time trying to puzzle out, like, well, who's the successor to Pan American? And there really isn't any one. Like United bought out their Pacific air routes, so I guess they're the most, direct, connection or descendant from the Samoan Clipper and that era. But no, I mean it's it's a shame that it's gone. I mean, because it was such a milestone company, and so innovative, and so so much a part of that era. I mean, like that great flying boat era, and then again like the jet age. The symbol of those just the Pan Am pilots and the jet pilots and the stewardesses and the whole thing is just very emblematic of that era.
Logo too.
Yes. That blue globe, yes.
Yeah.
So a few times there was sort of attempts to revive it, at least the sort of as the identity, but as like a commuter airline or something. It just never really took off. There is the brand identity was sold, the kind of the intellectual property or something, and it's and which explains why there's a railroad system in the Northeast that is has the Pan Am name. So there's railroad cars that